Imagine waking up one morning and realizing your money is worth less than it was yesterday. Your groceries cost more, rent jumps again, gas prices explode, layoffs are everywhere, and suddenly the economy officially enters recession. Now here's the scary part. Most people won't lose money because they made bad investments. They'll lose money because they were never prepared in the first place. And according to economists, major banks and market analysts, 2026 could become one of the biggest financial pressure years in recent history. But while most people panic, a small group of people will quietly build wealth during the chaos. Because recessions don't just destroy money, they transfer money. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I would protect my money if I had to prepare for the 2026 recession from scratch. No complicated Wall Street nonsense, no fake guru advice, no get-rich-quick garbage. Just simple strategies that actually work. By the end of this video, you'll know where your money should not be sitting, the biggest mistakes people make before recessions, how wealthy people protect their cash during crashes, which investments historically survive downturns, and the exact step-by-step game plan I'd follow in 2026, because the next recession may hurt millions of people. But if you prepare correctly, it could become the moment your financial life changes forever. Over the last few years, people have been quietly feeling something strange. Even if you make decent money, it still feels harder to breathe financially. Food costs more, insurance costs more, rent keeps climbing, and somehow your paycheck disappears faster than ever. That's inflation. And while inflation numbers may look small on paper, the real-life impact is massive. A few years ago, a grocery trip might have cost you $120. Now, that same cart can easily hit $180 or more. And here's the dangerous part most people ignore. When inflation stays high for too long, the economy eventually slows down. Businesses cut spending. Companies freeze hiring. Layoffs begin. Consumers stop buying. And that's when recession fears explode. Now, nobody can predict the exact date of a recession. But history tells us something important. The people who prepare before panic starts usually survive best. The people who wait until headlines scream crisis are often too late. And honestly, that's why I'm making this video, because most financial advice online is either too complicated, too unrealistic, or completely disconnected from normal people. So instead of pretending we can perfectly predict the economy, let's focus on what actually matters. Protecting your money intelligently. If I thought a recession was coming, the first thing I would not do is panic sell everything. That's exactly what inexperienced investors do. And historically, panic destroys more wealth than recessions themselves. Instead, the first thing I'd focus on is cash flow, because during uncertain times, cash flow creates survival. Let me explain. Imagine two people. Person number one makes $6,000 a month, but spends $5,900. Person number two makes $4,000 a month, but only spends $2,500. Who's actually safer during a recession? The second person, because financial survival isn't only about income, it's about margin. And before every recession, one of the smartest things you can do is increase the gap between what you earn and what you spend. That means cutting unnecessary subscriptions, reducing impulse spending, avoiding lifestyle inflation, and building financial breathing room. Because when layoffs happen, breathing room matters more than flexing. Most people try to look rich before recessions. Smart people try to become resilient. Now let's talk about one of the most dangerous financial mistakes people make before economic downturns: high interest debt. Credit card debt is financial poison during a recession because when the economy slows down, interest keeps growing anyway. Let's say you owe $8,000 on a credit card with a 24% interest rate. Even if you stop spending completely, that debt keeps attacking your future every single month. And during a recession, that pressure becomes brutal. This is why, if I had extra money right now, I would aggressively eliminate high-interest debt first. Not because debt is evil, but because freedom creates options, and options become priceless during economic uncertainty. Now notice something important. I'm not saying avoid investing forever. I'm saying stop financial bleeding first. Because investing while drowning in 25% interest debt is like trying to fill a bucket with a giant hole in the bottom. You work hard, but your money leaks out anyway. And most people never realize how badly debt slows wealth building until years later. The next thing I do before the 2026 recession, build an emergency fund. This sounds boring, which is exactly why most people ignore it until life punches them in the face. Your car breaks down, your hours get cut, your dog gets sick, your laptop dies, medical bills appear out of nowhere. Life does not care about your financial timing. And during recessions, unexpected problems become even more dangerous. That's why having emergency savings matters so much. Personally, I'd aim for at least 3 to 6 months of living expenses, not invested, not locked away, not sitting in risky crypto coins, liquid cash, accessible, safe, ready. And honestly, a high-yield savings account is perfect for this. Right now, many banks offer around 4% interest or more. That means your money still grows while staying accessible. Now, will this make you rich? No, but emergency funds are not designed to make you rich. They're designed to stop you from becoming desperate. And desperation causes terrible financial decisions. Now, once my debt is under control, and my emergency fund is solid, then I'd start investing aggressively, but not randomly. This is where most beginners destroy themselves. They chase hype. They follow TikTok experts. They buy whatever everyone online screams about, and usually they lose money because during uncertain markets, speculation becomes dangerous. So if I were protecting my money before the 2026 recession, I'd focus on strong long-term assets, especially ETFs, because ETFs reduce risk through diversification. Instead of betting your future on one company, you spread your investment across many companies. For example, the S&P 500 includes giants like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, Google, Meta. These companies dominate massive industries, and historically, broad market indexes have recovered from every major crash eventually. Every single one. The market fell, then recovered stronger. Now, obviously, nothing is guaranteed, but history strongly rewards long-term investors who stay consistent. Personally, if I were starting today, I'd mainly focus on ETFs like SPYVOOIVVQQQN, especially because tech and AI will likely continue dominating long-term economic growth. Now, here's something most people completely misunderstand about investing. Wealth is not built from one giant investment. It's built from consistency. Let me show you something crazy. A person investing $200 every month consistently for decades can outperform someone who constantly tries to time the market. Why? Because emotions destroy investors. People buy when markets feel safe, then panic sell when markets fall, which is literally backwards. The wealthy understand something powerful. Recessions often create opportunities, because when fear rises, asset prices drop, and long-term investors quietly accumulate. That's why automation becomes so important. If I were preparing for 2026, I would automate investing immediately, every paycheck, every month. No emotions, no guessing, no waiting for the perfect time, because perfect timing doesn't exist. Consistency wins. Now let's talk about what I would avoid before a recession. First, I would avoid trying to get rich fast. Economic fear creates scams everywhere. Suddenly, everybody online becomes a financial genius. People promise guaranteed profits, secret strategies, insane crypto gains, overnight success. Most of it is nonsense. And during recessions, desperate people become easier to manipulate. Second, I would avoid lifestyle inflation. This is one of the biggest silent wealth killers in America. Every time people make more money, they immediately upgrade their lifestyle. Bigger apartment, more expensive car, luxury purchases, constant financing, and suddenly, they earn more than ever but still live paycheck to paycheck. That becomes extremely dangerous during downturns. Third, I would avoid emotional investing. Headlines are designed to trigger fear. Market collapse, economic disaster. This stock is dead. News companies profit from attention. Fear creates attention. But smart investors focus on long-term behavior instead of emotional headlines. Here's the mindset shift that completely changed how I view money. Money is not just for spending. Money is a tool for buying freedom. Freedom from stress, freedom from panic, freedom from bad jobs, freedom from financial fear. And recessions expose who prepared for freedom and who only prepared for appearances. That's why the goal isn't to look wealthy. The goal is to become financially durable, to survive pressure, to stay calm during chaos, to keep investing when everyone else panics. Because history repeatedly shows something fascinating. Some of the greatest fortunes were built during periods of fear, not because wealthy people are lucky, but because they were prepared emotionally and financially. So if I truly wanted to protect my money before the 2026 recession, here's exactly what I'd do. First, cut unnecessary spending and improve cash flow. Second, destroy high-interest debt aggressively. Third, build a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Fourth, invest consistently into diversified ETFs. Fifth, automate investing no matter what the headlines say. And finally, stay calm, because financial success is usually less about intelligence and more about emotional control. The people who panic every cycle usually lose. The people who stay consistent usually win. Now, obviously, no one knows exactly what 2026 will look like. But preparation has never been a bad strategy. And if you start now, you'll already be ahead of most people, because while everyone else waits for the perfect moment, you'll already be building financial strength. And years from now, you may look back at this moment as the time you finally took control of your financial future. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and comment below. What's the biggest financial lesson you learned recently? And if you want more videos on investing, wealth building, and surviving economic uncertainty, watch the next video on screen right now. I'll see you there.